Hey guys, so we decided to make this video on the Trailhead Campground. This is the campground that is at AOAA, Anthracite Outdoor Adventure Area. So this is a parking lot to AOAA that a lot of people might be familiar with, or maybe they're not familiar with if they've never been here before. The trails are to the right for the east, and the west is across the road behind us. This is the main office at AOAA. They have a restroom and everything in there, which is really nice. So this is like the gate to the entrance of AOAA. We're still on AOAA. We're not actually on the main road yet. And the Trailhead Campground is right here. It's this sign on the right that says Campground. And it's a gravel road. What's really, really nice about the Trailhead Campground is basically it is attached onto AOAA. You don't have to like go out on city streets or anything like that. So it's my understanding if you check in like at AOAA, and everything is like all like fine with a campsite, you can actually get your side-by-side or your UTV or ATV, your motorcycle or whatever, and as long as you follow the rules and 5 miles per hour and stuff, you can actually ride your ATV, which is like an off-road only vehicle, from your campsite up to AOAA. You don't have to worry about like trailering it or the police hassling you or any of that kind of oddness. So it's very, very convenient to have a campground basically attached onto an off-road park. Another place that I went to that had a campground attached onto it was the Winrock Park in Tennessee, and they had like city roads that connect the two of them. So the way that they kind of got around it is they actually built like this short, like 1 mile trail that was like a dirt trail that connected the campground to their parking lot. So then people could do the same thing. They could easily travel between the two. So this is a very wooded campground, as you can see. It looks kind of like a national park a little bit because it's so wooded. I don't know the current prices here. I haven't camped at this campground in a while, and normally they only want campers going down here. But I have camped at this campground many, many times. I don't know the exact count on how many times we've camped here, maybe 10 or 20 times. Typically tent camping. However, there are trailers and RVs and everything else down here also. The road between the campgrounds, you're only supposed to go 5 miles per hour. That's why I'm only going 5 miles per hour. And you can see that there is some distance between the campground and the main parking lot. So even if you're like, you brought somebody with you that's just going to chill out in the campground, because there's a little bit of a distance, you don't quite hear all the noise of people in the parking lot, getting their ATVs out and everything. So to the right here, this area is the tent-only area, and then the rest of the campground is like pull-throughs and trailers, and you can kind of see the trailers through the woods. So when we were camping here, and I'm not going to move the camera around, unfortunately. If you skip the first site, and then the next two sites we really liked, those were like our favorites. And then, if you look at a map, then when you get down here, the group site is in the corner. We like not the little tiny site that's like right next to the group site, but the two long sites that are right past it. So I guess it'll be like the two long sites, and then this like little short one, and then there's a group site. So those two sites we really liked, and then on the front part of the tent area. So they have these porta potties centrally located. Usually they have water. You'll see these kind of square water cubicles centrally located near the porta potties. But it's like every single time we've come down here, like they've been in a little bit different positions. So you can't really see because the camera's mounted on the Jeep. But to the left of me is where all the RVs are. And okay, there's one of them that you can see. These are pull-through spots, so you can pull your RV in. I know that this one is like parallel to the campground, but most of the sites are not parallel. You can easily look at a map. So we came down here just to check it out to see if anything has really changed. We have a 21-foot travel trailer. And they have all these like kind of like up and coming like 2B things, like they want to add hookups, they want to add water, they want to add sewage and everything like that. They want to have full hookups and everything. But from when we were looking around down here, and I kind of wish the camera was tilted a little more to the left, unfortunately, so you can actually see the RVs. But anyway, like when we were down here, the last time, they didn't have any of these hookups, but we didn't have a trailer, so we didn't care. And so, like, our concern was basically have they added them. And I know, like, it's like all this, like, to be, and they're soon going to have it. So I saw like on the right they had like and this is October 2019. I saw they had electrical on the side, so it looked like they were pulling electrical in, but I didn't actually see any electrical in any of the sites. Like none of them at all, and I kind of heard a generator kind of far away, and I've heard that there's some generators that people use down here. But anyway, there was no electrical, there was no plumbing, and there was no hookups for like sewage. So basically, this is more like boondocking, um, or wild camping or whatever you want to call it, where primitive camping, where you get a site and you pull your RV in, and then you either use a generator or you go off your battery and like solar. So this building up here is the main building to the campsite, and the camp store is in there. We actually were the first ones to camp in our site. So they opened this campground during a event. It was like the Wheelers Overland event a couple years ago, and we actually won tickets with Off-Road Consulting, which is like really cool to come to this event. So we had free tickets and everything, and we guaranteed a site. And at the time, they didn't have all the sites cut. And we were like, hey, we're guaranteed a site. So they actually went and got a bulldozer out real quick, and they actually like finished one of the campsites like just for us. So it was like really cool to see them do that. So they work really really hard, but all the sites as far as I know are like cut. I think that they have plans for adding more. So this RV is just kind of like off to the side on the right. They have like traditional sites that are on the left, and I'm just really kind of kicking myself that I didn't turn the camera, stop and pick the camera up more so you could see to the left. But anyway, this is the campground, and like I said, it doesn't have hookups and stuff, which is like that's the biggest downfall. But it is attached onto the place. Here you go. Now you can see some of them. There are some fifth wheels down here that I saw. There are some really nice RVs down here also. Specifically, I saw like 2 or 3 Dynamax DX3s, DX4s. Those are like $250,000 Super C rigs. I just happen to know that because we went to an RV show just recently. If you saw some of my other videos, so you can see here these the sites on the left are kind of like what I was trying to show you, and you'll see that there's like lots of pickup trucks and either travel trailers or Class C's, and you can see here's some people coming down. And those are ATVs that are coming down, and they're going down, respectfully at the 5 mile per hour speed limit. And you can see that these are the same people that we actually saw up at the store. There's a little like restaurant up at AOAA where you can get food, and the kids must have gone up there to get some food at AOAA. So they're just riding their ATVs back to their campsite, and everything is fine. They're not illegal. There's no cops that are gonna hunt them down or chase them down, and nobody's gonna get mad at them as long as they follow the speed limit signs and you wear your helmet, which is a requirement of both the campground and the parking lot. So if you've never been to AOAA and you've never spoken to anybody, like if you pull up in the parking lot with your truck and you haven't even gone to the office yet and you think you're gonna get your ATVs out, put your helmet on, like even when you're getting like the ATVs like off the trailer. Like I totally get like the ATVs only moving like 5 feet or 10 feet or whatever, but they have like insurance and also the kind of stuff that they have to deal with, and you'll find out really really quickly that if you do like anything with your ATV or UTV or whatever that doesn't involve wearing a helmet or like a seatbelt, like if you have one of the guards is going to come over and pretty much like explain to you that like you're supposed to have your helmet on like at all times, like even if you're just moving at like 5 feet. So just throw it on, and then like you don't have to deal with any crap, and it's all good. Everybody wants to be family oriented and safe, and the other thing to keep in mind about AOAA is a county ran facility, so they have to be very very strict and thorough with following Pennsylvania laws. It's not like a private off-road park where they might be able to get away with certain things that a county ran facility can't get away with. And you can see there's more ATVs, and so there'll be Jeeps that come down, there'll be Toyotas. There was a Toyota group in the camping area when we went down there just now, but sometimes there's Jeep groups down here, sometimes there's UTV groups. However, it is really nice that it's attached onto the campground to the main AOAA. And the other thing nice is like it's a little bit secluded, but it's not so secluded that like it's a huge pain to get to. Just so you have a little bit of distance between you and the parking lot, so you don't hear all that noise. People, working on their vehicles or starting their vehicles or getting them off the trailers, whatever. You're pretty far away. So, when we get up here, to the right will be the main road that will get you to either like Shamokin or 81 or wherever you need to go. And to the left would be the AOA parking lot. And you'll see, there's a UTV right there side by side. The main parking lot is right there in front of us. The little square building in front of us is the air station that they have. They have free air if you need to fill up. And in the distance, that kind of along the tree line, that road there, that's the road to the east. And then you can't really see, but to the right there is the road to the west.